Good morning. So today I am going to discuss Thomson's atomic model and Rutherford's alpha particle scattering experiment. So it is Thomson's model of atom Okay, so Thomson was the first to give atomic model. Then Rutherford discarded atomic model of J.J. Thomson. Then again atomic model of Rutherford was discarded by Niels Bohr, atomic model of Niels Bohr, and finally atomic model of Niels Bohr was partially successful. Then at the end Niels Bohr atomic model also got discarded. So it is Thomson's model of atom or Thomson's atomic model. So Thomson told about atom. Atoms are spherical. Atoms are spherical of the radius of order 10 to the power minus 10 meter. First point about atoms. Thomson told atoms are spherical. Like football. Atoms are spherical and its radius is around 10 to the power minus 10 meter. Then second thing Thomson told about atom, in the spherical atom, protons are uniformly distributed. Protons are uniformly distributed throughout. And the electrons are embedded into it. Getting this? According to Thomson, first thing Thomson told about atoms, that atoms are spherical. Atoms are spherical. So sphere is a three-dimensional thing. So we can't draw it in board. But just think it is spherical. Like a football. And then he said, in the spherical atom, protons are uniformly distributed. Means if it is atom, then protons are uniformly distributed throughout this sphere, like this. So this is atom. This is atom. and these are protons. These are protons, okay, which is uniformly distributed. It is sphere, atom is spherical, and in the atom, okay, protons are uniformly distributed and electrons are embedded into it like this. So these are electrons. Okay, and it was compared with watermelon. This model was compared with watermelon. Watermelon have two main parts. One is the reddish part, and other is the seeds. Okay, getting this now? Watermelon have two parts. One is the reddish part which we used to eat. This reddish part which we used to eat, and other part is seeds. Seeds are embedded into the reddish part. And now come to the Thomson's atomic model. Thomson told atoms are spherical. Watermelon is spherical. Getting this now? Watermelon is also spherical. Atoms are also spherical. Thomson told protons are uniformly distributed throughout the atom, throughout this sphere. Again, you can see in case of watermelon, that reddish part which we used to eat, okay, is uniformly distributed throughout the sphere. And Thomson also told electrons are embedded into it. And you know, in watermelon, seeds are embedded into the reddish part. Getting this now? So we can also say Thomson's model of atom, okay, is quite similar to watermelon. Is quite similar to watermelon, in which reddish part indicates protons. In which reddish part indicates protons and seeds indicates electrons. Okay, and watermelon is spherical, so it is we say representing an atom. Okay, so Thomson's model of atom is very similar to a watermelon. Okay, very good. Now come to Rutherford's alpha particle scattering experiment. These two are main points of Thomson's model of atom. Okay. Now come to Rutherford's alpha particle scattering experiment. Alpha particle scattering experiments. Okay. After Thomson's atomic model, okay, Rutherford and his students, okay, performed a series of experiments. And it is known as Rutherford's alpha particle scattering experiment. I will tell you, okay, why this is called as alpha particle scattering experiment. Okay, so for this experiment, Rutherford, okay, used one radioactive element. Okay, Rutherford used one radioactive element. Okay, say this is a block of lead. This is a block of lead. Okay, and here one radioactive element is placed. This element is radioactive element. And I have told you about radioactivity. What is radioactivity? Radioactivity is the spontaneous emissions of active radiation. Radioactivity is the process of spontaneous or continuous emission of active radiations, and in this alpha ray, beta ray and gamma ray comes out. Okay, so he took a radioactive element, okay, and that was radium. Okay, and he allowed the rays. I told you, if it is radioactive element, then from here alpha, beta and gamma, okay, all these three rays are coming out. If it is radioactive element, so it is giving alpha rays, beta rays and gamma rays. Okay, and I told you beta rays are simply cathode rays, gamma rays are neutral, and alpha rays are, it is positive, He2 plus I have told you. So we need only alpha rays here. For this experiment, Rutherford, okay, used only alpha rays. Okay, so beta rays and gamma rays, okay, have no significance in Rutherford's alpha particle experiment. So we are just taking alpha rays from here. Getting this now? So he made the arrangement in such a way that only alpha rays were allowed to pass. Okay, only alpha rays were allowed to pass. Okay. Okay. And from this pinhole, this is pinhole. This is pinhole, very small hole. So from this pinhole, alpha particles were allowed to pass through. Okay, and Rutherford used gold foil. This is gold foil. Okay, gold foil means simply thin sheets of gold. What is gold foil? It is simply thin sheets of gold. Okay, so he used gold foil here for his experiment. Okay, for his experiment, and this gold foil is very thin. This gold foil is very thin. Okay, and it was in form of sheets. Okay, it was in form of sheets. So it is very thin foil. Okay, and we will say its thickness here is its thickness here is 100 nm. 100 nm. You can just assume, okay, you can just imagine, okay, how thin it is. Getting this? So what happened? In block of lead, one radioactive element, say radium, a piece of radium was kept, and only alpha rays were allowed to pass through this pinhole. Okay, only alpha rays were allowed to pass through this pinhole. Okay, and after this gold foil, okay, one screen, he used one screen. Okay, he used one screen. This one is screen. Okay, this is screen. This is screen, and this screen is what? This is we say fluorescence screen. Fluorescence screen. I have told you earlier. Means here coating of ZnS is done. Coating of ZnS is done. Okay, and what is the we say advantage of this screen, this fluorescence screen? Okay, when alpha ray will strike, okay, when alpha ray will strike this screen, then that point where alpha ray will strike, okay, it will appear to glow. It will appear to glow, and this phenomenon is known as scintillation. This phenomenon is known as scintillation. 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 Getting this? What is scintillation? When alpha ray will strike this ZnS coated fluorescence screen, then that point where alpha particle will strike this screen, okay, at that point the screen will appear to glow. The screen will appear to glow, and this phenomenon is known as scintillation. This phenomenon is known as scintillation. Okay, now only alpha rays were allowed to pass. Okay, so alpha rays entered through this pinhole. Alpha rays entered through this pinhole. Okay, now what happened? Okay, one question arises here. Okay, I will tell you later. Okay, I will tell you this later. Okay, so it was seen I am just drawing it, then I will explain it to you. Getting this? Okay, what are these? These are alpha rays. These are alpha rays. Okay, Okay, so what happened, you can see here, most of the rays are passing through the gold foil. Most of the rays are passing, okay, straight through the gold foil. Passing straight through the gold foil. Getting this or not? Okay. And only one, which I have shown here using red ink, okay, only one alpha ray, okay, has bounced back. Means what? Means it has returned on the same path. It has returned on the same path. It is going through this path, okay, and came back on the same path. Only one ray I have shown here, okay. And few rays are present here, which are this blue ink ray, okay, which are getting deflected through small angle. Can you see this? Okay, so three types of alpha rays are here. One alpha ray, okay, which is black in color. I have used black color for those alpha rays. So black, which is black inked, okay, are passing straight through the gold foil. Okay. Blue color alpha rays, okay, is showing some deflection. It got deflected by some angle, this angle, okay, it got deflected by some angle, okay, by this angle, okay. And only one ray is there, okay, which have returned on the same path, which is shown by red color. Okay, very good. Now Rutherford observed observation, I am writing it here, observation. Okay. So first observation was, most of the alpha rays went straight through the gold foil. Second observation was, okay, a fraction of alpha rays suffered small deflection, while passing through the gold foil. And third observation was, only, or we say very few, okay, and in bracket I am writing it, 1 out of 20,000 alpha rays. Getting this number? 1 out of 20,000. Okay, so very few number we will say it. So very few, that is 1 out of 20,000 alpha rays returned on the same path, that is suffered deflection by 180 degree. Is it okay? Rutherford observed three things. And these things are: first observation was most of the alpha rays, okay, went straight through the gold foil. You can see here, most of the alpha rays, okay, went straight through the gold foil. Then second observation was a fraction of alpha rays, means very few in number, a fraction of alpha rays suffered small deflection. Look here, suffered small deflection, okay, while passing through the gold foil. And third observation was very few, and just mind it, 1 out of 20,000, so very few, okay. Alpha rays, out of 20,000 alpha rays, only one alpha ray returned on the same path, that is suffered deflection by 180 degree. This red color alpha ray, okay, returned back on the same path. So these were three main observations of Rutherford's alpha particle scattering experiment. Okay, now come to the conclusion of this experiment. So these are three observations. Now come to conclusion of these observations. Okay, but before discussing the conclusions, okay, I want to make you understand why gold foil was used here. Gold is a metal, and malleability and ductility is the characteristic property of a metal. Okay, you know malleability and ductility. Okay, malleability means a metal which can be converted into thin sheets using hammer. Ductility means a metal can be drawn into wire. And here I told you gold foil was used. Means thin sheets of gold. And because this gold is highly malleable, that's why gold foil was used here. Because here you can see thickness of gold foil was 100 nm, so thin, okay, so thin, 100 nm means so thin, you can't just imagine it. Okay, so one thing was gold foil is highly malleable, that's why it is used. Second thing, alpha particles possesses high energy. So when light atoms if you will keep here light atoms, then the high energy of alpha particle, okay, means that light atom cannot withstand, okay, the high speed and high energy of the alpha particle. And that's why heavy metal was used. Gold, its atomic number is high, you know, okay, it is heavy. So to use gold here in this experiment, there was two main reasons. First one is gold is highly malleable metal, and second one is it is heavier, so that it can withstand with the alpha rays. Okay, So in place of gold, you can use one can use platinum. Platinum is also very good malleable, okay, highly malleable, and platinum is also heavy. Getting this now? So that's why this was the reason here gold foil was used. Okay. Now one more thing, what is alpha particle? I have to rub this diagram. Okay. I have to rub this diagram. Okay. So that I will be able to write the conclusions. Okay. One more thing, as these ray strike this fluorescence screen, then I told you this is the characteristics of fluorescence screen. So whenever a ray will strike it, at that point it will appear to glow. So at these points, okay, screen, this fluorescence screen appeared to glow. Okay, and by this he was able to understand the deflection and the rays are coming straight or getting deflected. Otherwise we can't see rays now. So using this fluorescence screen, okay, it produced glow on the screen, and by observing this glow, okay, he was able to understand, okay, the nature of deflection. Getting me or not? Okay. Now what is alpha particle? Just I have told you, but just I want to remind it. Okay. Okay, it is helium. You know, atomic number of helium is 2 and mass number of helium is 4. So when 2 electrons are removed from helium atom, okay, then it becomes He2 plus. It becomes He2 plus, and its mass is still 4, because I have told you mass of electrons are 1 by 1837 times of proton, times of mass of proton. Getting this now? So mass of electron is negligible as compared to mass of proton. So I told you here we are going to remove 2 electrons, so mass of electrons will be negligible here. So if mass was 4 here, again mass is 4 here, okay, and still it is 2, atomic number is 2. So this He2 plus, this with mass 4 is known as alpha particle. Okay, is known as alpha particle. Okay, so mass of alpha particle is 4. Okay, charge on alpha particle is 2 plus, charge on alpha particle is 2 plus. So you can see here charge on alpha particle is positive, 2 positive charge. Okay, now it will be useful. Okay, that's why I told you about alpha particle. Now come to the conclusion. So it is conclusion of Rutherford's experiment. Conclusion. First conclusion. Thomson told protons are uniformly distributed throughout the atom, and protons have mass. Okay, it means the atoms possesses mass throughout. Getting this or not? According to Thomson, okay, atoms or mass of atoms are uniformly distributed because protons are uniformly distributed. Okay, and protons are responsible for the mass of atom. Okay, mass of electron is negligible, so it have hardly any contribution, okay, in mass of atom. It means according to Thomson model of atom, okay, mass of atom is uniformly distributed throughout the sphere, okay, of the atom. Very good. Now, as Rutherford observed, most of the alpha rays, okay, went straight. Most of the alpha rays went straight through the gold foil. What does this mean? If most of the alpha rays are going straight, means no mass is present there. Okay, suppose I am throwing this marker. Okay, so here it is board. So when I thrown it, it got reflected. Why? Because in front of it some mass is present. Okay, but suppose if I will throw it, okay, in this way, means nothing is in front of this marker, means it is not going to collide with any mass, so it will go straight. Getting me now? So if most of the alpha particles went, most of the alpha rays went straight, it means no mass was present there, means most of the space inside atom is empty. Getting this now? So first observation was, first conclusion was, most of the space inside an atom is empty. Okay, now come to second observation. A fraction of alpha rays suffered small deflection. I told you alpha rays are He2 plus. So He2 plus means alpha ray possesses positive charge. Now come to this point. A fraction of alpha rays suffered small deflection. Okay, while passing through the gold foil. Just think, alpha rays possesses positive charge and protons also possesses positive charge. Okay, so when alpha rays came in contact with protons, okay, then proton is positive. You know, proton is positive. Alpha rays, I told you, positive. So you know, positive means repulsion will take place, and due to this repulsion, okay, they deflected by small angle. So we will say here, very few alpha rays suffered deflection by small angle, because it came to okay, encounter, or better we will say, very few alpha rays suffered deflection by small angle because protons possessing positive charge was present in that small region, the small region. Getting this? Protons are present in small region. Why? Because very few of the alpha rays got deflected by small angle. If protons were distributed all over or throughout, then most of the alpha particle most of the alpha particle will show deflection, but only few alpha particles is showing deflection. It means what? In small region protons are distributed. Getting this? And third point is very few, 1 out of 20,000 alpha particle returned on the same path, that is suffered deflection by 180 degree, because whole mass of an atom whole mass of an atom is concentrated in very small region, known as nucleus. Getting this? Whole mass of an atom is concentrated in very small region known as nucleus. So say at this point whole mass of the atom is concentrated, and one ray collided with this point. Means this ray collided with whole of the mass of the atom, so it suffered major deflection. So it suffered 180 degree deflection because it directly came in contact with whole of the mass of the atom. So these three was the conclusion based upon this observation. Now come to Rutherford's atomic model. This was Rutherford's alpha particle scattering experiment. Now come to Rutherford's atomic model. It is Rutherford's atomic model. First thing is atoms are spherical. Second thing is whole mass of an atom is concentrated in very small region known as nucleus. First thing is atoms are spherical. Second thing is whole mass of an atom is concentrated in very small region known as nucleus. Third thing, we will say protons and neutrons are present in the nucleus, and these are fixed. Getting this? Protons and neutrons are present in the nucleus and these are fixed, means they can't move. They can't move. Neither proton nor neutron. Okay, both of these are fixed. Okay, these are not able to move. Okay, so these are fixed. Then next point we will say, which is very important, electrons revolves around the nucleus in a circular path known as orbit. Electrons revolves around the nucleus in a circular path known as orbit. Okay, just I am going to explain all these points. First point, atoms are spherical. Very good. Atoms are spherical. So if it is a sphere, then sphere will have a center, and at that center whole mass of an atom is concentrated, and I told you this is known as nucleus. So if atom is spherical, so a sphere will have a center, and at this center whole of the mass of the atom is concentrated. Okay, and here neutron plus proton are present. N plus means neutron and protons are present. Okay, here neutrons plus protons, N plus P are present. Okay, then protons and neutrons are present in the nucleus and these are fixed. These can't move. These are fixed. Okay, then electrons revolves around the nucleus, means what? Electrons are movable. Neutrons and protons are fixed, but electrons are movable. So electrons revolves around the nucleus. This is nucleus, and electrons revolves around this nucleus. In a circular path. So in this circular path, electrons are revolving. Okay, and this is known as orbit. So what is this? This is orbit. This is called orbit. Okay, so there is not only one orbit, means some more electrons will be there. Okay, which are also revolving, okay, around this nucleus. So this will constitute other orbit. Okay, second orbit. Some more electrons will be there. Okay, which are also revolving around this nucleus. So these are also called as orbit. So this is what? This is Rutherford's, okay, atomic model. This is Rutherford atomic model. And Rutherford's atomic model, okay, explained model of atom, okay, in a better way, okay, as explained by Thomson. Okay, so Rutherford's model of atom, okay, had many more advantages over Thomson's atomic model, and Thomson's atomic model was discarded because Thomson told, okay, mass, okay, means protons are uniformly distributed, means mass is uniformly distributed, and Rutherford observed experimentally most of the space inside atom is empty. So Thomson's atomic model was discarded. Okay, so this is Rutherford's atomic model. Okay, in next classes we will be discussing failure of Rutherford atomic model. Okay, thank you.